We're back at it again, people. We're critiquing some logo designs today, and it's going to be absolutely beast. I've changed the things. I know I need to iron the background, and we are on a webcam just here. I'm just testing out the quality to see if it works just as well. If not, I'll move back to the DSLR. So let's get into the first logo design. This one's from Prantham, and we're going to have a look just here. He's a 16-year-old self-taught designer, and here we go. Now, the cool thing about this is the background. I love the background, but for the logo itself, it has a lot of potential to it, but I don't know whether the first letter is an I, a V, and I don't know if the second one is a Z or an S. I know that there's an L and an O, and it looks pretty cool. So what I would do is I would tell me what this is. I don't think you've told me here. What I would say though is make sure you have a good amount of legibility. Make sure the logo is as legible as possible. Otherwise, it's not going to work very well and people aren't going to be able to read it. It looks cool, but they can't read it. I would also extend this L here up because it's too close to the cap height here. So I'd make sure it goes up to the ascenders, okay? All in all though, I absolutely love the logo. It looks pretty cool. I love the background you've got going on here. There's so much stuff you can do with this. I love the colors. Also, it needs to be what's it called, aligned. So it needs to be straight aligned because this is not aligned with this at all at the minute, but really good job. I can see the potential of it and it looks really good. This one is from Ivan, and I'm having a look here. He hasn't told me what this is for, so I can't really give a critique about it. I can critique it from a design standpoint, but not really from a logo standpoint. What I do love about this is the use of simple shapes to convey a message, and that is that the Alps here, and you've got snow there and some clouds here to suggest that it's very high, and I really love this. What I would just keep in mind is make sure this is centered and aligned to the object because it doesn't at the minute. I love the use of the font you've got going on down here. This is awesome. I like this font. If someone could find it for me, I would love them. But all in all, a really sick logo, and I love it. I love the map in the background. What I don't like is the grittiness off the logo. I would take that away because it doesn't need it. It could be clean. This next one is from Roberto Villegas. I don't know how to say it properly, but here we go. We're having a look. Okay, so the first thing I would get rid of is this circle in the background because I like what you've done here. You've got a cool sort of idea here, but I would just get rid of the circle and have this banner because that would look pretty cool, and have one word in there and maybe one down here like so, because all this is just too much going on. And when it comes to logo design, you have to really critique your own mind of like, why are you doing something? Are you doing this part here just because you want to do it, or are you doing it for a reason? In this case, it doesn't look like a reason. Also, these jagged edges, there's too many of them and it's too detailed for a logo design, so I would just make this into a circle. So yeah, that's what I would suggest to do, and keep it black and white because I think it would look cool, black and white. This next one is from Nathaniel, because he's allowed me to pronounce his name as Nathaniel. Now, it's really important when you guys send me a logo to tell me what it's for, because I don't know what the design is for. I don't know how functional it is to that company or whatever, or to that project you're working on. So let me know what companies you're working for. So this one's Climb, and I'm guessing it's like a mountaineering company. And guys, I absolutely love this because it's the top of the M, and it took me a second to realize it said Climb because it's just awesome. Like these mountains here, the peaks, I absolutely love it. Now, what would be interesting is if you were to scale this up even more, and only to see a part of the logo, what's it going to look like? And that's what you really want to keep in mind, is what's it going to look like when it's scaled up? What's it going to look like when you've done the work that you've done? So I really like this, dude. I can't really say anything bad about it at this point in time. It just looks like a really nice logo. Maybe experiment with a different mountain here. I think you've gone ahead and reflected it, but maybe just experiment with it. I'm not too sure if it'll work though, but really nice job. I love it. This one's really cool. So this is like a drop pin on a map, and you've gone ahead and made a little music crotchet with it, and I absolutely love that. Anything that I would say about this, I would see if you could drop this down a bit more. Maybe change the balancing of it, because at the minute it looks like the Beats logo, which a lot of people are doing. But I would just see if you could drop this section here down a bit and maybe move this section so you have like a longer spike going there, just to see what you can do with it. Have a little play around. But I love the type you got going next to it, and it fits it really well. So this next one's from Bruno Garcia, and it says that this is the Bates Motel. I absolutely love this tee. and hoodie. I think it looks really nice. Now, what would I do differently? I'm not too sure. I would maybe, because the balance of it is really nice. And you see this here, you can have, maybe you could have like, is that Matt Damon? That's definitely Matt Damon. That has to be Matt Damon. I would maybe go ahead and bring Bates Motel and maybe center it or have something else here. I'm not too sure. I really like it and I don't think I would change that because it looks, for what it is, it works really well. This next one is from Joe Rooney and he says, "Hey Will, I'm Joe, a 14-year-old designer from the UK. Here's my logo I made for my CSGO team." Now the problem we're having here right at the start, Joe, is I don't know what, is that Nat Clan? I'm not too sure what it says here, so that's the main problem. I would get rid of the circle and I would either just use the cross as the full logo or not use it at all. Because what you're trying to do with the logo is make things as simple as possible and as clear as possible. So stylizing stuff isn't the main point of logo design. So what I would go ahead and do, Joe, is probably get rid of this at the top and make it straight. So like you're writing it straight in a more bold font and maybe have established CSGO established 2016 underneath it very nicely and get rid of this at the bottom because it doesn't look balanced. You got to think about this, Joe. If your logo design is like this, it's not going to work at all because it's not bold enough. If you were to have this really small on a screen when someone's watching it on YouTube, it wouldn't be too good to look at because people can't see it and understand it. You want to be able to convey the message straight away on your videos or wherever you're posting it. You want to be able to have that message conveyed straight away. So this next one is from Awake Visions Design and this is Crestwood Landscaping. So the first thing about this logo is that I love the color choice you've got going on here, the black, the orange and the green. Now, what I don't like about the logo is the fact that you've got this E going out like a spade, I guess, which is a cool, clever idea. But maybe if you'd have Crestwood Landscaping, you could do this in a different way. I'm not too sure how, but in a different way, because it sort of takes this and makes it look like a T to me. I'm not too sure about anyone else, but it does for me. I like how you've inverted it as well. So you got some going underneath, some on top, underneath. Now the problem with this, when it's very small, it'll be very hard and not very legible. Well, it wouldn't be too bad, but it just wouldn't be that legible. So I would get rid of that. And also with this logo design, because you've got landscaping here, you can get rid of all this down here. You don't need this green line. Now this is way too detailed, but I understand why you did it and the concept is very nice. I would go ahead and make this either very simple and incorporating it a different way, because at the minute, if I was to zoom out, it's not balanced because you've got this whole section down here. What I would do is just have Crestwood there and then landscaping at the bottom in another sans serif font that is a bit thinner. Maybe get some lines going like that in the shapes of spades or something, depending on how vintage you want to be, and then see what it looks like. And I think you would have a really nice logo. Just play around with this one here. And just make sure that the type that you're using, because I really love it and I want to make a font like this, just make sure it's not as gritty as that, unless it is something that you think you need to have. This next one is from Yannick, and she's 19 and studies design. So this logo is for her podcast about street photography, which is cool, and it's a German podcast. So let's take a look. So guys, I really love this. Now the main thing that I like about this is the type that you've got going on here. I think it looks so cool. Maybe what would be really nice to see in this logo is a form of a sign. I think you have got it here. This could be made into a sign. So it would be nice to see if you could get the logo or the type inside the sign and make it still look like a sign and a microphone at the same time. I love the color choice you got going on here. It looks really clean and professional like street should be. I think this looks a lot like a road, which is pretty cool, or a street path. I think that's really cool, and the design of the mic is good. When it's small, I can definitely see what it is and I can read it. I think I prefer this one though, just because I don't know if it is, but it looks darker. The Street Talk looks darker, and I think you just have to have that contrast with it. Overall, I really like it. It would just be interesting to see something different inside of here, or to play around with this microphone a little bit. So this next one is from Mitch, and basically he's given me a bunch of logo designs and he's been studying for about a year. So let's take a look. Now, the cool thing about this is that you've got these grids going on here. Now, There's a tutorial on Skillshare and he shows you how to do this in case anyone else is looking to do it. But what I love about this A is that it looks pretty decent. I don't know whether it would work as a logo design though, because it looks very generic. But something that looks really cool and interesting is this one here. I've got a video about gridding logo designs like this, and this is a type design or an icon design in the space of a type. But I really like the look of this one. Now, what you're missing, Mitch, is you're missing what it's for. With logo designs, you can create all these cool little emblems, and they are really cool. And I wouldn't really change them. I would maybe make it a bit thicker just to see what it looks like if this was a bit thicker in the strokes. So something that you're missing, Mitch, is the fact that I don't know what it's for. So having a little caption down here, even on Instagram, goes a long way for people and potential clients to see your work. A logo can look as awesome as it does, but if it doesn't work for a specific company and you haven't actually fulfilled the request of a client or even a fake client, then it's not going to work as well as if you didn't tell them. But overall, dude, you've got some awesome logos here. This one looks just like the Netflix logo, I think it is. And this is nice. Check that out, people. Looks really good. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are a legend and you would like to become part of the family, then press the subscribe button down below. We are so close to 100,000 subscribers, which is incredible. And we're on a race to get to 100,000 people because there's a video coming out that's a lot about me. And there's going to be some awesome things for you guys when we hit 100,000. So press that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified whenever a video comes out, then go ahead and press that bell button and be part of the Bell Squad, even though that sounds really wrong. And every time I upload a video, you will be notified straight away. So what's not to like? Let me know which logo design you think was the best, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you soon.